Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good to have you here today. It's a beautiful September morning in New Jersey, and man, we are catching some just gorgeous days here. I don't know if you're in this area or not, but if you are, enjoy them. This has been an incredible way to start September. So I'm about a mile into my walk here, and I was just listening to a devotion. Actually, no, sorry, I was reading a devotion, because in our membership community, we are walking through the book of John. And so this morning, as I was walking, we're into John chapter 14. And as I was walking, I listened to the whole chapter, even though we're only into like verses 2 to 4 right now. We walk through it verse by verse. So if that interests you and that's something you're up for, just head over to joindavesband.com and get involved in our membership community there. You'll get devotions every day, and you'll get involved in our community of people that are walking through this book as well. But I was thinking about it, and in verse 4, Jesus starts to talk about heaven and how he goes to prepare a place for us. And I was thinking about what that means, what that looks like. One of the quotes that I found was, Jesus goes to prepare a place for us, but he's also preparing us for that place. And I love that idea, right? Like, as we roll through our days, we're being prepared for heaven. If you're walking and believing in Jesus. And so I thought about that for a minute, and I was like, okay, what does that look like? Like, how do we prepare ourselves for heaven? And it really comes down to, like, because this chapter in John, as we get into 14 and the rest of the book of John, we're now entering this new section. Like, Jesus' teaching portion, 1 through like 13, and he's still teaching in 14 and beyond, but the bulk of the teaching was Jesus just talking about how to deal with people. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but how to deal with people and how to deal with each other, and how to love and how to serve and how to care for, and how to develop peace in our lives, and how to slow things down, and how to love your enemy and love your neighbor. And I was thinking about all that stuff that he talks about, all those teachings. And I was like, well, yes, he's preparing a place for us, yes, but he's also preparing us for that place. He's conditioning and softening our hearts, right? As I've gotten older, I've noticed that my heart has become more softened, more compassionate, I guess is one way to put it. Where I hear, a story on the news, or I feel for the loss of a child by a parent a little more than I did when I was in my 20s, let's say. Because in your 20s, you just don't have the life experience that you do when you get into your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. That old adage, wisdom and youth is wasted on the young, is, gosh, it's so true. I forget who said that. I thought maybe it was William Joyce, but so true. And so today, as I'm walking through this beautiful graveyard, thinking about heaven and thinking about what it looks like for Jesus to prepare a place for me, but also for him to prepare my heart for that place, like prepare me for that place. What does that look like? What does it look like in your life? I was just thinking about, like, okay, so how do we talk about this a lot. How do we reflect Jesus more in our lives? And one way to do that Actually, there are many ways to do that, but one way to do it is to practice peace, to practice joy, to practice mercy, to practice love, compassion, kindness, grace. And I played a show this past weekend in Rochester, New Hampshire. And the whole point of the day was to recognize and serve the city of Rochester and the people there. It literally is, the woman who runs it, her name is Tracy, she's awesome, and we've been partnered together for this event for the last 5 years. But really, she works her butt off to just show people who Jesus is in Rochester, New Hampshire. And I love that. I love that she's putting herself out there like that, and the recognition that's come because of it. It's just been amazing to watch. But there's a great example, right? How are we preparing people for heaven? How are we preparing ourselves? How are we changing our lifestyles? And I'm talking to myself as much as I am to you about this right now. Because it's a constant, it's a daily walk, isn't it? It's a daily frustration, daily battle where, that's a pretty big, check this out. Decent sized tree that they cut down here. Beautiful wood, my gosh. Anyway, sorry, it's a daily walk, right? I send daily devotions out because we need to hear about Jesus every day. Because if we don't, our minds get sucked into the culture of the world and it just gets overwhelmed with things that are not of Jesus. And we need to hear about Jesus every day. So as we think about this and think about what it looks like and really what it means, we have to think about our training, right? We have to think about what it looks like to be a follower of Jesus, what it looks like to reflect him every day, and what it looks like to prepare ourselves for heaven. Now that's some long-term thinking for some of us. I totally get it. But Jesus declares, promises that he's preparing a place for us. And he also, in that sentence, is declaring and promising that he'll prepare us for that place. That was part of the mission, is teaching us, preparing us, showing us who he is, how much he loves us, how much he cares for us, and then how to reflect that love, grace, kindness, compassion, mercy, tenderness, hope into the lives of others around us. And so how do we do that? It's kind of a loaded question, but it's also a good question. It's one to ask ourselves every day. How do we do that? First off, start with daily meditation on Jesus, who he is, what he's taught us, what it looks like to follow him, right? Just open the Bible. Open the book of John. I told a story on my Facebook page probably about a week ago. While I was doing some of these devotions, I stumbled across a story. The writer of Peter Pan, J.M. Barrie, his mom was a devout Christian. And she loved the Bible, loved teachings, loved reading. And when it got to the point where she couldn't read anymore and see anymore because she just got so old, she wouldn't read and she couldn't see, and I think it said that also she couldn't hear. She would come up to the Bible and she would open up to John 14 and she would kiss the pages. And I was like, gosh, what a sweet sentiment that is, to just know what's written in those pages and just kiss the pages of the Bible, almost as an act of surrender to them, but also as an act of thankfulness, right? God, thank you for these pages. Thank you for the words on these pages. So start here. Start in just John chapter 14. Just start there. What an incredible chapter of John it is. I'm so glad we're taking a long time to walk through this chapter. Beautiful, beautiful chapter. So start there. 5 minutes a day. Let it go to 10 minutes a day. Maybe 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, 5 minutes in the evening before you go to bed. I don't know what it's looking like for you. But Jesus is preparing a place for us. And he's also preparing us for that place. So today, let that be what drives you. Let that be what leads you closer and closer to Jesus. Knowing that a place has been prepared for you, and that his desire and his goal, his constant desire and goal, is to prepare us for that place. Gosh, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of this. If you're not a member yet, become a member. Head over to joindavesband.com. Get involved there. You'll find not only a community of people praying for and with you, but the resources there are extensive. We've got over 3,000 written devotions, 300 video devotions, worship videos, Bible studies. I know that sounds daunting, but it's organized in a pretty decent way where you can find it quickly and you can just start your day. I literally just opened up the app this morning and I looked at, okay, there's John. And now I can find this verse and we just walk through the verses. You can scroll through it. It's kind of cool. Head over to joindavesband.com to get started. And thank you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking this devotion out. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you're on YouTube or Facebook. And enjoy your day. Prayers up for you today. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care.